Dear Divine Selves, we are going to test the bliss of self-realization, God realization in just next 1 hour. Within next 1 hour, with the help of a single shloka of Ashtavakra Gita, we are going to experience what is called popularly as self-realization, God realization, Brahman realization. Nay, we are going to become Brahman, we are going to become God, for Upanishads declare Brahmavid Brahmai Bhavati. The knower of Brahman verily becomes Brahman. Atmavid Atmai Bhavati. The knower of the Atman, the self, verily becomes Atman. That is Paramatman, the Supreme Self. Therefore, self-realization means to become self, the Atman, the Paramatman. God realization means to become God, the Lord, the Brahman, the Almighty reality. That is the ultimate glory of the Advaita Vedanta. Knowledge of the God, the Lord, the Self is not just like knowledge of any material entity, object or matter. By knowing the mountain, by knowing the deepest ocean, or by knowing the sun or moon or the stars or galaxies, you don't become them. But by knowing God, you become God. By knowing self, you become self. By knowing Brahman, you become verily Brahman, for you are already ever nothing but Brahman. For Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Most daring declaration of the Upanishads is there is nothing ever anywhere other than the supreme reality called Brahman. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Na Paraha. Quintessence of Advaita Vedanta. The Brahman, the self of the nature of pure consciousness, is the only fundamental eternal reality. The rest of the phenomenal universe is a mere superimposition of names and forms on that fundamental reality called Brahman, Paramatman, the self of the nature of pure consciousness. That is the ultimate declaration, that is the ultimate accomplishment of Advaita Vedantic seekers. So please join me if you are a true seeker. If you have come for entertainment and time pass, it's not going to be very useful for you. But if you are a mumukshu, true seeker of the self, the truth, the ultimate reality of yours, and ultimate reality of the entire universe, then come, let's go on a collective journey for just 1 hour, and you would experience the ultimate reality right now, right here within yourself, with the help of just one shloka, single verse of Ashtavakra Gita. That is one of the greatest texts of the Advaita Vedanta. The best text ever read on Advaita Vedanta, on non-duality, is Ashtavakra Gita. So let's begin the journey. I will take just one shloka from the first chapter of Ashtavakra Gita, and let's see how simple, how easy it is to experience, to realize, to know, to experience directly, immediately the glory of the self, the Atman, the Paramatman, right now, right here. So the shloka I am going to take is 18th verse of first chapter of Ashtavakra Gita. It is one of my favorite shlokas. Sakaram manritam vidhi nirakaram tu nishalam. Sakaram manritam vidhi nirakaram tu nishalam. Etat तत्वोपदेशेना न पुनर्भव संभवा न पुनर्भव संभवा न पुनर्भव संभवा. He is declaring that you would become free by just knowing that this, by discriminating, separating the false from the truth, form from the formless. But before I begin to explain it, let's understand the simple English translation of this verse. Sakaram anritam vidhi. Let's see, so that you don't think that I am arbitrarily trying to explain it. Let's see what it is written. That is Advaita Prakashan's Ashtavakra Gita, the simple English, and then I will take you straight to the core of your existence, that is Atman. So he says, know that which has form to be unreal and the formless to be permanent, that is real. Through this spiritual instruction, you will escape the possibility of rebirth. The chain of unceasing chain of birth and death is called the samsara, the cycle of unceasing birth and death. We are caught up in. You will escape, that is, you will become free. To speak differently, you will become enlightened, you will become Brahman, the Atman. How? By knowing and separating the form from the formless, and then knowing that anything and everything that has a form is unreal, illusory, mere appearance, and therefore it's false. And that which is formless, that which is formless, nirakara, that which is formless is eternal, permanent, real. This alone is the crux of entire Advaita Vedanta, Vedantic teaching. And by knowing this, there are two things only. So simple, how to separate the Atman from Anatmana. How? This is the biggest question, that is the most fundamental exercise one is supposed to embark upon if you want to become enlightened, if you want to experience the bliss of self-realization, God realization. Then you need to know what is self, what is not self, what is Brahman and what is Maya, the illusion. So here is the mantra touchstone whereby he is very sharply, simply, succinctly giving you the touchstone whereby you can separate the chaff from the grain, that is Brahman from the Maya, Atman from the Anatman, the immortal from the ephemeral. Immortal from the ephemeral, you have to, these are words, but the real and unreal one has to understand. The immortal is real, eternal is real, and that is, which is ephemeral, momentary, that is unreal, and that is anything and everything. What is trying to say? Anything and everything which has a form, know for sure that it is illusion, it is false, it is a mere appearance. But that which is formless, that which is nirakara, that is eternal, that is permanent, and that is the ultimate reality. This simple difference, separating the truth from the falsehood, separating the eternal from ephemeral, separating the Brahman from Maya, is so easy, so simple, by knowing that anything, there are two things only. So I will repeat differently to make it simple to you. Even if you are a beginner of the Advaita Vedanta, you would be able to understand, the grasp the essence of and the gravity of this single shloka. Right now, right here, every moment we are experiencing in our day-to-day life different kind of experiences. In that day-to-day life, make sure to open your discerning intellect and thereby distinguish, separate the form from the formless. You don't have to go to forests, you don't have to go to any temple anywhere. Wherever you are, whatever station of your life you are busy in, but simply engage in this exercise just for once, and then you become enlightened. You live a life of an enlightened master by knowing the ultimate reality. How? By separating, distinguishing the nitya from anitya, the real from the unreal, that is the formless from the that which has form. So now let's come. To begin with, you would feel befuddled by, oh, what is formless? Every moment in our day-to-day lives, we see only forms. We experience only forms, whether gross or subtle. This table has a form. This body part of mine, called this palm or hand, it is form. There are books, they have form. This fridge, this almirah, this wall, it's all form. My body, my legs, my hands, my feet, all of these are having very distinct, definite forms. So do you mean they are all false? Yes, you got it right. Even if the God, the Lord, the Brahman who has a form, know for sure that he is mithya, anitya. So starting from Brahma to a single blade of grass, anything and everything in this manifest world which has a form, that is, which is amenable to sensory experience as seen as an object, know for sure that it is illusory, it is maya, it is false, mere appearance, it is temporary, it is not permanent, and thereby I am not that, and the Brahman is not that, and the truth is not that. So what is the nature of the truth? He has said it. Sakaram anritam vidhe nirakaram tu nishalam. These two things you have to remember. Sakaram anritam vidhi. Know anything and everything that has a form. Anritam. False, illusory, impermanent, temporary, transient. And that Sakaram anritam vidhe nirakaram tu nishalam. And that which is nirakaram, no form, which is formless, to be real, to be eternal, to be Almighty Self. So simple. You would say, Swami, you are saying it's so simple, but we don't see or experience or remember anything formless being experienced by us. You are right. For an ordinary human being who has not embarked upon the journey of self-seeking, quest for ultimate truth, there is nothing other than the forms and forms and forms, gross to subtle and yet forms. Let's explore the nature of form, and then we will see where is the formless. Is it mere imagination of the Ashtavakra or the Upanishads? We have not experienced anything formless. So let's first begin by that which is at the moment so distinctly, manifestly clear to us. So the first and foremost reality in our life since morning to evening is our own body, our own senses, our own minds. So we are very simply, directly seeing, experiencing, observing our bodies as objects, as forms. This hand has form, this body has form. The eyes have separate, distinct forms. Nose has a shape, form. Lips have their own shape, form. Teeth has its own shape, form. So every sense or body part and the body, that is gross body, has a form. Therefore, by the definition and the touchstone of Ashtavakra, know this body to be false, illusory, temporary appearance. Okay, Swami, this body is false. Okay, we assume that this body is false. But what about the mind? Mind doesn't have a form. No, mind has too a very distinct certain form, but that is subtle, and we will experience it. That is why in Advaita Vedanta, this body is called this gross body, asthula sharira, and then mana buddhi antakarana, inner self, inner equipments, antakarana, as Sukshma Sharira, subtle body, but nonetheless it has a form. How to experience it? Anything and everything has a form, must have duality. Only the formless will be non-dual. What do I am trying to say? Mind. I am trying to understand and make you understand that mind, intellect, ego, your memory, they too are body parts, and they are forms, though subtle. How to know that? If I begin to shout at you, if I begin to scold anybody, you would become immediately angry, you would become, your mind will become depressed. But the moment I begin to praise you, I begin to say, I love you, I adore you, you are so great, you are so beautiful, you are so blissful, you are an enlightened soul, your mind becomes very pleased. So the depressed mind and pleased mind, the happy mind and unhappy mind, these are the states of the mind. So wherever they, and you experience, everyone experiences that. I do experience every moment. So I experience the state, the different states, the different swings and moods of my mind. Therefore, mind too is directly observed, seen, experienced by me, and thereby and therefore mind and intellect too have separate, distinct, concrete forms, though subtle. Therefore, my body, the senses, the body parts, and the mind and intellect, the antakarana, too have forms. Therefore, know your mind too as nothing but false, illusory, impermanent, mere appearance, not reality. Okay, Swami. So, my body, my mind, my senses, since they have forms, are false. And the entire world outside, very simply, and there might have been some difficulty or doubts in understanding the body and body parts, but the world outside is definitely made of forms and forms alone. It's so simple. Every object, the bed, the chair, the books, the clothes, the window, and the ashram outside this room, the plant life, the building, the human beings, the animal kingdom, the Panchabhuta, the infinite space, ether. Ether too is of form. Ether has form, the space has form, though very subtle. Air too has form, wind has a form. Today you are experiencing the cyclonic attack in there is a huge cyclone warning today on the coast of Odisha and Tamil Nadu. I have gone to those areas, Gopalpur, that sea beach. I have gone there for a study in Odisha. So wind, you would say wind, sometimes it becomes, no, the movement of the air you experience, and when it becomes gusty and very forceful, definitely you experience so ferocious wind. So ether, that is space, has a separate form. Empty sky, you say. Wind or air has a form. Fire has a separate form. Water, of course, has such a powerful form. Last month itself, just behind, Mother Ganga is flowing she was flowing with ferocious, gutsy waters, voluminous waters. So water, of course, is of the form, and earth, Mother Earth, is definitely most gross form. The sun has a form, the stars have a form, the galaxies have form. Animal kingdom, everything in the animal kingdom, whether elephant or tiger or horse or a tiny insect, they have definite form. The plant life, the huge banyan tree, the mango tree, to the smallest blade of grass, all of them are very directly perceived by our eyes, open eyes, as forms. Therefore, to summarize, anything and everything which is amenable to direct sensory perception is having a certain form, and thereby it's false. I have been trying to explain it, but now I will make it so simple, since you need to understand it clearly. Advaita Vedanta is not so simple to the beginners. So, what do you mean by form and formless? Till now I have not touched upon where is the formless. That is true. We will come at the end. That is ultimate objective. But we have to know what is false, what is unreal, but that alone is appearing as real. So when he is saying that anything and everything which has a form, know that as false, illusory, temporary, he is trying to say, and now I will simplify, say that anything which is drishya, drik brahma drishya mayeti sarva vedanta nirnaya. This is the fundamental principle of Advaita Vedanta, that Drik Brahma, the seer, perceiver, Drik means the seer, perceiver, experiencer, is Brahman, the reality, eternal, permanent reality, and Drishyamayeti, anything and everything that is appearing in the realm of objectivity, Drishya. Anything and everything that you are experiencing as a drishya, know for sure that it is false, it's illusory, and negate it. Knowing false and illusory means you have nothing to do. You are very hungry and you are visiting a museum, and in a glass case you see very beautiful looking salacious rasagulla sweets in a glass casket. Are you going to eat it? No, there are paintings of the sweets, or you might see the paintings or video of apple or bananas, but that can't be eaten by you or me. It is not going to solve our problem of hunger. Even so, what he is trying to say, that the world that is appearing as a drishya, and drishya means form. Let me clarify it. When he is saying Sakaram Nirakara Bheda, discrimination between the form and formless, he is trying to say discriminate between drashta and a drishya. And third indication I am giving, drashta drishya means name and form. Name and form alone is called drishya, and drashta sat chit ananda, that is pure consciousness, that is reality. So anything and everything which has a form is by definition drishya, and drishya, that is seen, that is objective realm, that is object of perception. The realm of objectivity is all illusory, all mere appearance, all cosmic maya, cosmic illusion. They have no separate existence, no independent existence, independent of self, the seer, the Brahman. So they are mere superimpositions, mere appearances in the self, in the Brahman. Okay, Swami, we got it. But where is Brahman? Where is that which is formless? That is the moot question. Is there anything really available which doesn't have a form and yet it exists? Yes. That which has no form alone exists. This is the bold declaration, and this is experience of Sacchidananda too, and all the sages and seekers from millions of years. The ultimate reality is of the nature of formless, transcendental, pure consciousness. That pure consciousness alone is called self, the Atman. In simple terms, the seer, the perceiver within you. Now you go. I'm hitting so directly, it will take few minutes to go at the center. That is to realize, to see, to perceive the God, the Lord, the Brahman, the Paramatman right now, right here, within yourself and without yourself too. Where is that? Swami, tell me how to identify that Atman. Don't take away too much in the realm of duality and the forms. Tell us, where is the Atman, the Paramatman? I will tell you now. Because remember that fundamental principle, that anything which has a form, which has a name and form, which is observed directly as a seen, as a drishya, that is false. This much you should remember, and then your question is right. Then is there anything beyond the seen drishya? Is there anything beyond the form? I will show you right now and right here. See this palm of mine, right hand. You are perceiving it right now, right here. And by my own definition, by definition of Advaita Vedanta and Ashtavakra, this is a scene, this has a form, or my entire body. Swami Sacchidananda, Saraswati, a sannyasi, a paramahansa sannyasi, whosoever, whatsoever he is, even if he is God or Lord or Brahman, but at the moment he is speaking as a formed human being. So this form, this body is false, illusory. But now look at the scene you are seeing or observing or experiencing is false, but look at this, or my face or body. There is a seer inside you, there is a perceiver inside you, there is an experiencer inside you. Tell me, what shape, what form is it made of? Go and find out. Look within, close your eyes. I am showing to make it simple, direct, right now, right here, but this could be extended to the entire universe of names and forms which appear as drishya. But what I am saying, whenever you are experiencing any drishya, any form, Drishya means form, form means drishya. Use it interchangeably. So wherever there is a form, there is a drishya. Where is a drishya? That has a form. That is what he is saying. And to make it a little more simpler, when he is saying Sakaram manritam vidhi nirakaram tu nishyalam etat tattvopadeshena na punarbhava sambhav. What he is trying to say is that Sakar means this body. Know this body which has a form, which is a drishya as false, and that I have just indicated to you right now, right here. For me, this mobile which is recording my speech, it is a scene for me. It is an object for me, a drishya. But who is the seer? I the seer, I the perceiver, I the knower, I the experiencer. Who is this I? This I is this I body and body parts? No. Body parts we have already come to know that eyes are perceiving, ears are listening towards, but they are all false. So they are insentient, jada. The sentient principle, the pure consciousness, the knowing power, that is pure consciousness, the Atman within the cavity of the hearts, the inner self, the Pratyekatman, the Pratyekatman within me, the indwelling self, the innermost self. You can say outermost. These eyes become instrument of perceiving the forms. So ears and all the other senses have respective objects, and they are processed by mind and intellect. But finally mind and intellect too become an object, and the seer, perceiver, experiencer of the mind and intellect is who? Pure consciousness, Pratyekatman, the self. It's me, I am experiencing, I am seeing this table, this mobile. So what is the form of I, ever shining I, or the seer? So the seer within me, perceiver within me, and you. When I am saying, whatever I am saying about myself, it is true about yourself too, everyone. The seer within me, perceiver within me, experiencer within me. I am using different words to indicate the same reality to make it simple. Advaita Vedanta has almost become extinct. There are very few people who are genuinely interested. So I am trying and putting extra efforts to make it simple so that it sinks deep within you and so that you become enlightened. So the seer, right now, right here, we are exploring the nature of formless. Sakaram manritam vidhe nirakaram tu nishalam etat tattvopadeshena na punarbhava sambhava. So, okay, Swami, we have come to know that this entire world of forms and names and that is perceived as the world of objectivity and seen is false, but where is the formless? Where is that nirakara, that is nitya, that is permanent you are declaring? That is what we are exploring right now. Every moment that is present in its supreme glory, whenever you experience an objective world of form, there is a seer, there is a perceiver, there is a knower, there is an experiencer. That one is the permanent reality. That is the Brahman, that is the Lord of the Lords. That is your inmost self. The innermost self of yours alone is that supreme reality. Don't think that that supreme formless reality sitting somewhere up in the sky in Vaikuntha Loka Brahmaloka, Goloka. No! In the loka of the cavity of your heart, that is, in your mind and intellect, that which is illuminating your mind and intellect, every moment, every nanosecond it is present and active. That light of the lights, that divine light, that is the ultimate seer, ultimate perceiver, ultimate experiencer, ultimate knower, and that is formless, that is nirakara. It has no form, and yet it alone is. Nothing else is. That is the greatest wonder of the existence. That which is being experienced as form, as concrete objects of the senses, is illusory, mere appearance, it's false. But that which is formless, which never becomes an object of sensory perception, that formless reality is nowhere else, nothing else other than I, myself, I, ever shining I of the nature of pure consciousness, light of lights, self-effulgent, self-shining, self-luminous, Swayambhu Prakasha. I am that Swayambhu Prakash. That is Chaitanya Prakasha, Atma Prakasha, Brahma Prakasha. That is the formless reality, and that alone is the fundamental reality of the entire universe. Even the quantum physicists, starting with Max Planck, who was awarded Nobel Prize for Physics in 1918, he says, the nature of the reality is not matter or objects, but of awareness alone is the fundamental matter. Pure consciousness is fundamental. The rest of the matter appearing is mere superimposition, and that is going to Erwin Schrödinger and David Bohm and the rest. So that truth was discovered by the sages and seers of Vedas thousands of years ago, that the seer which is formless, the drashta, sakshi, inside every living being, the seer, perceiver, experiencer within the elephant or tiger or a sinner or a saint or an insect or mosquito or a squirrel is one and the same supreme sacred pure consciousness appearing depending upon the separate bodies as separate due to illusion. But the seer within every jiva, perceiver within every living being is formless reality, and that is the supreme reality, that is Brahman, that is Paramatman, that is Supreme Self, Lord of Lords, and that is of the nature of pure consciousness, non-dual consciousness, indivisible awareness, Advaya Jnanam. And that is ever-present reality within me. So, what is Ashtavakra trying to say? Very simple. The seen is false, illusory, Maya. But the seer of every seen, perceiver of every perception, knower of every knowledge, experiencer of every experiencer is formless, supreme reality called pure consciousness, and that is there present as Pratyagatmana, Antaratmana, indwelling self, the inmost self, the innermost self within you and me and every living being. is living God, living Brahmana, that was never born. The body of the insect or squirrel or mosquito or tiger or the demons or the gods was born and would die. But the indwelling self in the body, the Dehi in the Deha, the Shariri in the Sharira, that is the light, that is the light of pure consciousness within every single living being is one non-dual reality, that is the divine light, transcendental light, that is beyond birth and death. But due to ignorance, we have come to identify ourselves with the body, that is form. Sakaram manitam vidhe nirakaram tu nishcharam. That is what he is trying to say, that we are not body, you are not, oh Janaka, you are not body. And your identification with the body is the sole reason for the unceasing chain of suffering caused by unceasing cycle of birth and death. Because the body, mind, they are subject to birth and death, but the seer within, experiencer within, the Atman within is one non-dual reality. There is no duality in it, upon it. The Atman within you, the seer within you is formless. It has no form, it has no shape. You tell me, right now I showed you, see my palm, see my hand, but the seer within you, experiencer within you, not only form in the sense of the drishya of the eyes, but even take for example the words. My words are not being seen by your eyes, but through the equipment of your ears, my words are going within you, and then your mind and intellect are interpreting, trying to understand it, and the light which is illuminating, revealing and animating mind, body, intellect and senses, that is formless, pure consciousness, that is Atman, right now, right here. So tell me, when is Brahman absent? When he is saying Sakaram manitam vidhi nirakaram tu nishcharam, it means nirakaram tu nishcharam means Nirakar is Brahman, Paramatman, Parameshwara, the supreme reality, the Lord of the Lords. And Sakarman, that which has a form, is Maya, Jagata, this phenomenal universe of names and forms which appears in the state of ignorance as the only reality, is essentially unreal. It's a dream being seen by the dreamer, that is the self, with the equipment of mind, but the seer is one non-dual, ever free, divine light of lights, and that is Nitya. There is no birth and death in that supreme self, the Atman, which is called Pratyagatman, Antaratman, due to association with the body at the moment as a Jiva, but the moment you dissociate that indwelling self from this body, that indwelling self is supreme self, Paramatman, which is ever free, which is ever blissful. Bliss and blessedness are intrinsic, inherent and natural to me, the formless Nirakara Atmana, which is ever present. Now tell me. Now first let us be convinced about our Nityata, eternity, immortality with certainty. And that is right now, right here, the seer within me, perceiver within me, experiencer within me, and the knower within me, and you too is formless reality, that is Brahmana, that is Atmana, that is immortal reality, that is almighty reality, and it is blissful. There is no sorrow, suffering, deficiency, sense of lacking, please love me, please give me some money, please give me some power. Nothing. It's a self-fulfilled reality. It's the only reality that is called non-dual Advaita Vedanta. The self within you, the seer, perceiver, the Nirakara, formless perceiver, seer within you, that is the light of pure consciousness. That is the soul reality, that is the fundamental reality. The entire world of names and forms is mere appearance in, upon and through that pure consciousness, that is me. That is Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. The pure consciousness is that Lord Vishnu, and the entire world of names and forms, Drishya, is a dream seen by me, perceived by me. Therefore, to summarize in simple terms, wherever you see sakara, anything which has a form, anything and everything, whether subtle form or gross form, negate it. Negate neti means know for sure that it is false, it's imaginary, it's mere appearance. I have nothing to do. But right in that moment, when you are seeing a scene, a sakara vastu, or an object with a form, there must be a seer that is formless. There must be a perceiver of that objective world. There must be a knower and experiencer, and that knower, that experiencer, that seer of. In day-to-day life, you don't have to go anywhere. Every moment you are experiencing some objective reality. In that objective reality, in day-to-day chores, in daily routine, know for sure that which is amenable to objective experience, you are seeing as some form. Think and know for sure that it is not real, but the seer of that form, the knower of that form, the experiencer of that scene or form is that supreme, immortal, eternal reality beyond death and birth. And who is that? Who else is seeing? Though my mouth is speaking, even I myself listening, myself, I'm listening to my words. I'm seeing my images in the mirror, even so. But I, the perceiver, the experiencer, the knower, the seer, am eternally formless. You go and inquire within yourself. Close your eyes. When you have negated everything, anything and everything which has a name and form, that is anything and everything which could be seen as sakara, that is drishya, negate it, and in ignorance you would say nothing is left. Go and see, then you will know. When you negate everything which appears, whether as a dream, whether as subtle imagination of the mind or the gross world or my own body or body of my relatives or loved ones, then do you experience the non-existence of yourself? Do you disappear? When you negate everything which is made of forms, names, as seen, then what is left? Just see. Are you there or not? Do you also disappear when you negate all the forms, all that is made of forms, all that is made of the names and forms, all that is in the realm of objectivity? When you negate them as neti, as they are not real, then what is the remainder? Can you say that nothing exists? What about you? When you negate everything to the last point, that is your mind and ego, then the remainder is the pure Brahman, that is you, I. You experience yourself. Can anyone negate? Can I negate I myself? I am. I have negated sun, moon, stars, earth, air, oceans, mighty mountains, animal kingdom, the human beings, trees, temples, everything, all gods, goddesses which appear as forms, I have negated and come to know that they are false, they don't exist. Then what remains? I am. I am the only remainder. I can't be negated. Can I negate myself? If you can, please negate yourself. Say that you are false. Can you say? You can say this about the body parts, senses, the mind, the intellect and ego, but the pure consciousness, the formless I, aham vritti, aham pratyay, I, ever shining, self-luminous I am. I am can never be negated. I am is the eternal reality. I am is the formless reality. This is the direct, immediate experience of that Supreme Brahman. Right now I am experiencing, and I don't see any reason why you are not experiencing. The seer within you is formless. The perceiver within you is formless. The knower and experiencer within you is formless. Your formless I. And can you negate your I, ever shining I? My, aham pratyay, no. Because that is Brahman, that is Paramatman. Your I, when it is stripped of all the superimpositions of the mind, body, their forms, that is naked Brahman. The I, the formless I, there is a I with a form, that is ego, and the body. When I identify the self, the Atman with the body, that is the fundamental cause of the unceasing cycle of birth and death. But once I dissociate myself with all the forms, sakara, then the formless I, ever shining I, that is the Atman, that is the quintessence of Advaita Vedanta. And I can never be negated. Therefore, I alone am the supreme reality. I alone am the permanent reality. Ever shining I, the indwelling self of mine, is seer, nirakara, perceiver and experiencer of every subtle or gross experiences. It never disappears. And it is sovereign reality, self-shining reality. Everything in the universe needs other lights to be illumined, but I don't need any external light. I am the divine light of lights. I am transcendental light of pure consciousness. And that light of pure consciousness, the Atma Jyoti, Brahma Jyoti, that is Paramatma Jyoti, that transcendental supreme light is the divine light which has no form, and yet that alone is the supreme reality. That alone I am, that alone I was, that alone you are, that alone is the fundamental reality of the entire universe. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. That formless reality of the names and forms is not confined to me and within my body as seer, but I, the seer within me, is the seer within every single living being. That is one non-dual reality. Nay, within myself, the entire world of diversity, duality of names and forms is appearing as mere dream. There is no world outside me. There is no separate and different world out there. I am of the nature of pure consciousness, the knower, seer, perceiver and experiencer of everything within me is the Paramatman, the Brahman. Therefore, Brahman and Paramatman are being directly and immediately experienced by me and you, not an object of experience, but as experiencer of every objective reality, not as a seen but as a seer, not as a perception but as a perceiver. So the formless self, pure consciousness, which is seer, perceiver, knower, within you is that Brahman, and that Brahman you are, that Brahman I am. There is no doubt, it's a scientific method. You are, by knowing this, you are free. There is no birth and death in that self, in the Atman, because that alone is called Shiva, that alone is called Brahman, that alone is called Paramatman. I have come to know that I am that formless reality, immortal, transcendental reality. The birth and death belong to the world of names and forms, Drishya alone. I am Drashta Brahmana.